Hey everybody, Spiral Sigil here, and today we're looking at the patch notes for this day, April 17th, 2017. It's kind of a big one, which is why I haven't done one of these in a while, because up to this point they've been pretty small. Like, I think the last one, the biggest change was they fixed the cross-eyed look on Cassia's secondary skin, so woo! Anyway, today I wanted to take a look at this one because it added a lot of stuff to it, and because I'm feeling festive, I don't know why, I'm wearing Abathur's hat. Yay! Anyway, the biggest thing for today, obviously, is the release of Genji. I know a lot of people were really excited about Genji, but I was one of the minority that was off to the side going like, please let that be a rumor, please let that be false, please don't let that be true. It's true. And I could basically fill an entire video with my issues with Genji as a character, but I'm not going to. We're not here for that. You don't want to hear me bitch. So, suffice to say, the only thing I'm going to say on the matter is I don't know if I'm going to rush out a spotlight for him. I'm on the fence. I have gone ahead and bought him on the PTR just in case I decide to do that. But in the meantime, I'm still preoccupied with other things. Like, I'm working on my 10th spotlight at the moment. Genji can wait. So, biggest thing is Genji. People have already started playing him, and he looks fun, at least. He does look fun. Like, I wasn't a big fan of him in Overwatch, but I would probably try him in this once he is generally released because of his kit. But I already see some issues with it, like certain things look a little bit too broken. And in which case, I'm waiting for the usual Blizzard hammer of, oh, balance time, nerf this, nerf this, nerf this, nerf this. But we'll see if it actually gets to that. Now, his trait was a lot of what people were debating on for the longest time, whether or not it would be like switching between ranged and melee combat, and it's not. It's actually his other thing, which allows him to run up walls. This allows you to jump to a target area, which is really handy if you get jumped by a Diablo and he pitches you over the wall before the wall's down. Then you're like, peh, lol, gone. But if that's not enough for you, he also has an ability that does it as well. So basic abilities are Shuriken. He throws 3 in a pattern. You damage the first enemy it hits. So those are the 3 charges. And its cooldown replenishes all charges at the same time. So I did see some gameplay for that earlier, and that was actually pretty cool. So like, if you use one charge, it'll slowly start to tick up its own cooldown. But if you just spam all of them, then once the cooldown fills up once when they're all gone, you get all 3 of them back. Now that's really cool, but I do think that's a little bit abusable, but I haven't quite figured out how yet. Deflect, which is the big one people worried about, become protected for 1.25 seconds. Any damage blocked during this period causes Genji to throw a kunai towards the nearest enemy, prioritizing heroes and dealing damage. Now, the damage on the kunai itself isn't what really worries people, it's the minus of the damage itself, but also he's got a talent farther down, I think it's at like level 16, where he does like 33% of the damage he would have taken back to them. Characters like Tracer and Tychus will take a shit ton of extra damage, and they'll just shred themselves to death, like, in no time flat. Especially Tracer, who has, like, no health to begin with. So that could be a problem, but you can't kneecap one character to make it balanced for the one character that will instantly be killed by it. So I don't really have a problem with that, despite being someone who really likes playing Tracer. I don't have a problem with Deflect in this case. I have a problem with everything else attached to him. And his third one is Swift Strike, dash forward, dealing damage to all enemies in a line. This has a huge fucking radius, and this is the thing where I'm like, this could be a problem, because it's essentially a very good escape. Like, I would say it's double Li Ming's teleport range, and that is goddamn. Plus it does damage. And if you kill an enemy hero, if an enemy hero who is hit with it dies within 2 seconds of being hit by the ability, you get the cooldown and the mana cost back. Like, holy shit. So if they have to do anything to this guy's kit right now, it's seriously tweaking his E, for sure. And then, of course, his heroic abilities, you expect a Dragon Blade, we all did, which is the whole / they're all dead. Also, it also shuts off the cooldown on Swift Strike if you kill something with it, so there's that. The other one is X Strike, and just reading this, the only thing I could think of was Final Cross from Tales of the Abyss, because it does exactly the same thing. You slash once, you slash across, it detonates. So, I don't know, I guess we got some JRPG fans over at Blizzard. Either that or it's just not that original, but either way. But the bigger thing I was more excited about was the rumors of the new battleground from Overwatch, and while I did kind of want Eichenwald because I loved the aesthetic feel for it, Hanamura is a really good pick too, and I like that one as well. Protected Course was like Towers of Doom, which is good because we did need another map that functioned like Towers of Doom. And I like Towers of Doom, so I'm all for this. Escorting payloads, so basically rather than collecting towers, you're moving a payload. Payload will do the damage for you because you can't. You can buff it by destroying towers, and I believe there's a few other ways to deal damage to the core as well. Mercenary camps, they no longer do attacks or follow you along and deal damage to the core. In this case, they give you an item to use or some kind of buff to use on the battlefield, which is also really cool because it keeps with the Overwatch spirit. You don't recruit mercenaries in that, you pick up health packs and shit. So I like that. I'm excited to try out Hanamura much more than I am to actually play Genji, but again, I don't want to be a negative Nancy here and ruin everyone's parade by saying, fuck Genji, why do we get him? I will play him. I will at some point. I'm probably going to suck as him because, well, it's a ninja character and I'm never good at those. Like, ever. The artwork. Visual effects indicate movement speed have been received upgrades. Sprays of additional polish to help them feel more integrated with the battleground environments. I still don't see anything on the whole you can turn sprays off option that people have been begging for. Like, all over Reddit, I kept seeing topics that are like, can this be toggleable or something so we don't have to see it because it's very distracting. And I agree with that. So, I kind of was waiting on that one. Heroes' abilities and talents. Tassadar Nullification talent has received visual updates. Neat. The collection, this is just a reminder basically telling you that if you picked up anything during the PTR, you will not have that when 2.0 actually launches, which I know about. I was a little bit bummed about that for Cassia because I spent time getting her in the PTR for the Spotlight. But then I managed to win a contest to win her bundle on the actual game, so no harm, no foul. It's also why I'm not really too worried about having to get Genji again, but by the time he comes out, we'll have loot boxes, so I'll just gamble for him until I get him. Then there's just lists on the new bundles. I am a little bummed out, and hear me out before you crucify me with this one. I'm a little bummed out that Ariel got a skin out of this one, out of all the characters, because I just got her demonic skin, and I fucking love that one, but her Sakura skin looks really cool too, so it's like, damn it! Like, give a character who doesn't have good skins a good skin. Not give another character who I have to choose now. Also, the Cyber Demon Zarya one is the first skin I've liked for Zarya so far. And that's including her Overwatch and her hero skins. I don't like any of them. This one here, this Cyber Demon one, looks awesome, and I give it bonus points for having a name that it's inspired from Doom. So. User interface, attack move, target point, attack move has been added to the gameplay options. I don't really get the whole deal with attack move because I don't use it myself. I've never played with that kind of an option on. But I do know a lot of people have been begging for this for a while. So, you know what? If this improves their game or makes them have more fun, awesome. Like, good job, Blizzard. Let's get those toggleable sprays now. Item boards have received an updated art to make it easier to differentiate between owned and unowned items in your collection, which is fine. Heroes and all Heroes tab has been added to the Heroes page in your collection, which will be really cool if you're just looking at, like, what do I own? Oh, all of this. Portrait selected the basic portrait border collection will now display your current player level and loading screens in the party panel and the player's profile. All level, blah, 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 updated art. Okay, cool. Completing matches in Heroes Brawl will now award Hero XP. Did it not before? I could have sworn Brawls gave experience. Did it not? Huh. Completing the weekly Hero Brawl will now award a loot chest rather than portrait and gold. I'm a little bummed out by the lack of portraits on this one, but you can just win portraits out of loot boxes, so not the end of the world here, and honestly, gold is getting kind of slowly phased out with the introduction of loot boxes anyway. Like, yeah, people will still use gold for stuff, but loot boxes are the wave of the future, and it's time to get with the times, guys. Like, anyone who's complaining about the fact that you're not going to get gold from this anymore, don't spend it now. Stockpile your gold now, and you'll have it when the 25th hits. In-game UI, slightly lower to provide more versatility in the center of the screen. That's a start. I've been asking for the chat box to have a movable option somewhere in it for a while, but if they can't do that, at least they're doing something with it. So, hopefully. Stuff about mastery taunts, which I hate. I hate it. I hate the fact that we're going to have mastery taunts. Like, it's something that's not going to be, like, how did they... Okay. How does this promote a healthy competitive environment? All you are doing is giving players the opportunity to dick wave in the faces of their opponents, or even in the faces of their allies. I can absolutely see situations where players are arguing on the same team back and forth, and then it just becomes to a matter of flashing, what is it, J? J. Taunt hotkey is J. And they're even calling it taunts. So, yeah, it's just going to come down to that. It's just going to be a dick measuring contest in every fucking game. Or if someone gets like a really stylish kill, they're going to taunt you and run away, and then it's going to trigger people. And I've seen this shit happen in League of Legends. I've seen this shit it even works in Overwatch. People spray on stuff. They kill you and they fucking drop their spray. And I was worried about that with the sprays as well, but when the Mastery Taunts came out, I was like, oh, this is just so much worse. So, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Loot chests. Upon re-rolling a chest containing a rare, epic, or legendary, a warning dialogue will now appear that asks players whether to confirm whether or not to re-roll the chest. I actually did see this warning message on the PTR already where I got a chest opened up and had a stim pack inside of it. And I was like, I already got a stim pack, I don't have to worry about it. Maybe I'll re-roll it. And as I clicked re-roll, it's like, are you sure? So I was like, you know, fuck, I'll keep the stim pack, I don't care. So, there you go. There is a warning, and I like that. I do like that. Score screen, lightning bolt, visual effects will now be displayed when leveling up on the poster. Okay, so just something cool aesthetic-wise. Like that. Now, here's the big thing, and we're getting into is the heroes, because some changes have happened, and I wanted to talk about at least one big one in general, but we'll get to him. So, Cassia's got a couple of things changed on her. Fend has gotten a lesser cooldown and less of a mana cost, which is nice. Ball Lightning, more of a mana cost, but Ball Lightning, I never really was low on mana when I was going to use that one. I always had mana for it. It was just finding the right spot to use it. That was my problem. So, not a problem on that one. I would like some kind of tracking radar to see how far the radius distance will be, and also if it would prefer hitting enemies to Cassie herself. Because I've seen a lot of missed damages where it just stays on you when there's another enemy with a valid target, but because you're around more enemies, it... Either way. I would prefer I would like a couple of these things here, but not a deal breaker. Like, Ball Lightning is still the better ult. And it looks like Valkyrie got changed as well. Its cooldown got lowered, and its mana cost got reduced. I still don't see it being as good as Ball Lightning. I still see its uses, but Ball Lightning is still better. True Sight Talent, it's not the one I usually take, so I'm not too worried about it. Impale, health trigger bonus damage is increased to 50% instead of 40. Not the worst. And Infinite Lightning. Cooldown reduced from 4 to 3 seconds per bounce. This is to offset the fact that it just got a higher cooldown. No biggie. Greymane, I'm not a very good Greymane, so I'm just mostly skip over this stuff here. But, oh, Curse Bellow, that's his ult. It now does more max health damage. Who signed off on that one? This is already a heavily abused ult, and I believe it has like a 30-second cooldown or some stupid thing like that. Like, it's ridiculously low is what someone was telling me earlier today, actually. That's crazy. That's nuts. I gotta learn how to play Greymane. Specialist, Nazeebo. Oh, don't change Naz. No, my Naz. No, my Naz. No. I like that little figurine. Alright, Plague of Toads. Damage increased over 6 seconds. I like that. That's good. That's a buff. Gargantuan basic attack damage reduced and health reduced. I'm not that worried about that because Gargantuan was not, to me, someone to basically tank out an area. I use Gargantuan as like, oh, they're remembering his zombies, and now there's a big zombie. Kill him. So, I'm not that big, it's not that big of a deal because it's just the basic attack damage. It's not like it's his smash. His smash was the big go-to for me, so I don't have a problem with that. Superstition, his spell armor is reduced from 50 to 40. That makes a bit more sense because Superstition was like the best 13 power to take if they even had one mage. If they had like a Ming or a Chromie, you needed this to just live, but then you were too tanky. Like, I was actually explaining this to somebody the other day. When I had Superstition on, fighting a KT, he hit me with Pyroblast. I don't know why he aimed for me. And like, from full health, you'd expect a Pyroblast to shave off about half or more. To me, it was like this. It was insignificant. It was insanely reduced. And I don't know if I had any other buffs going on me at that point, or if it was just Superstition, but yeah, damn. Humongoid, lesser cooldown, but it's got lesser stats, so big deal. Viral Infection. Ah, that's what I was afraid of. People were bitching about that for a while now, that his level 20 talent is way too good, and then so easy to get those stacks. I've only just recently now gotten the habit of like having enough playtime as Nazeebo to figure out how to get his stacks by the time we hit 20. And taking all those games into consideration, there's been a few times where I've gotten just to 150 as we hit 20. I don't think I've ever been like, oh, I've got like 200 stacks and we're at 19 right now. We're good. I got this. So I'm gonna have to up my game. Realistically, I'm just gonna have to up my game for this. But I'm still, that's not a hard nerf to Naz. It's a small nerf, but it's not overall like a devastating one. Probius, Photon cannot be self-cast. You know what? I'm done bitching about Probius. Ever since I made his spotlight, Blizzard keeps changing stuff on him, and I step in and I'll be like, this is not what needs to change, but then I find out 2 days later that his win rate is skyrocketed. Like, apparently he's doing crazy fucking good now, and I'm like, I've looked at his changes. They didn't address the problem areas, but apparently they did, and I'm just wrong, so I'm done bitching about Probius. Like, my spotlight was obsolete 2 weeks after he came out, so fuck it. Auriel. Oh man, what do they do with my favorite support girl? Sacred Sweep, more damage, center damage increased. Okay, that's good, that's good. Detainment Strike, damage increased, nice. Terrain Collision increased, nice, good. That's all really good. Resurrect, new functionality. Increased cooldown from... Damn! Fuck me, they threw 50 extra seconds on that cooldown. That's fucking nuts. Reduced channel time from 3 to 0.5 seconds. Okay, that's really good. Added a 5-second delay between finishing the cast and the hero coming back to life. Why? What the hell? Why? Why would you do... Why 5 seconds? That's so much. You've burnt your ult. You're still out a teammate for 5 fucking seconds. A lot can happen in this game in 5 seconds, especially if you have to res them near a team fight. They might be needed right goddamn then. That... Is it even worth taking Resurrect now because of that? Like, goddamn, that sucks. I'll have to fiddle with that and see if it's even going to be worthwhile in the long run, because I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's going to be worth it anymore. They up the necessity for her questing on Increased Clarity, so you have to hit them for 100... Or wait. No, never mind, they didn't. All they did was up the damage. That's fine. For some reason, I read that as they upped the required amount of hits in the middle of the thing to do the damage, and I'm like, well, it was really easy to get that when they all bunched up, so I'm not that worried about it. But no, instead, all they did was just maximize the damage. Neat. Righteous Assault, cooldown reduction increased from 2 to 3 seconds per hero hit, and it no longer has a cap, which is nice. Let's see, what else do I use here? Empathetic Link. Energy stored is increased to 25% instead of 20, which is nice, so it's 1/4 the damage now directly, instead of 1/5. Blinding Flash. Blind is reduced slightly. It's not that much, so I don't really care too much about that. Shield of Hope, the cooldown is increased to 60 seconds. I stopped using Shield of Hope a while ago. I almost always just take Flight now. Unless I'm going to buff my ult, but I pretty much always just take Flight. Like, it's too handy to have a healer that can get around the battlefield, like Brightwing. Like Brightwing. And Lightspeed, which I believe is the 20 talent for your Resurrect. New functionality, remove the increased health upon reviving, so they no longer come back at 100%. Fan-fucking-tastic. That causes the cooldown of Resurrect to recharge twice as fast, so 100% faster, while previous target is alive. Okay, well, at least that offsets the massive fucking cooldown spike you gave it, but that got worse. Were people really taking Resurrect that much? Because I always thought people took the shield. Like, I thought the shield was the go-to ult for her, and Resurrect was the niche pick. Am I crazy? Huh. I guess I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which puts me in a really bad spot as a video maker. Brightwing, Soothing Myth trait. Now displays a range ring around Brightwing that conveys the radius of her heal. It's only visible to Brightwing. That's fantastic. That's really, really good. I like that. Lily, Blinding Wind got probably nerfed, right? Cooldown decreased from 10 to 8 seconds. No, that's an improvement. Mana cost reduced. That's an improvement. Damage increased. Nope, that's not a buff. That's not a nerf. That's a buff. I like that. I did hear some people bitching about what they changed to Tassadar, so let's take a look at him now. Basic attack damage increased from 10 to 12. That's not bad. That's not a nerf. Abilities, Plasma Shield. Duration decreased from 5 to 4 seconds. Shield amount decreased from 550 to 475. Like, okay, that's a hard nerf to his shield, but at the same time, if you've ever played against a good Tassadar, you can't ever hit them. Their shield is always fucking up. Like, and when it's not up, they immediately have a new one. So it is up again. Like, it's ridiculous. So I'm okay with fixing his shields a bit. They already do too much. Force Wall, cooldown reduced, and mana cost reduced, so Force Wall's just more usable. Just some quests on him. Yeah, not really a big one. Not really a giant-ass change on Tassadar that I'm seeing here. His lifesteal's gone up on Kala's Embrace. His movement speed bonus is reduced a little bit. His movement speed duration is reduced a little bit. Not that big of a deal. Twilight Archon, basic attacks in Archon form increases its duration by 2 seconds. That's good! I don't even know why people be bitching about a nerf when, like, everyone fucking takes Archon, so you buff it at 20, and now you're gonna be in it all the goddamn time. You hit them... Yeah, if you hit them... Wait a second. Does that stack? Basic attacks 1, Archon form increases... Does that keep going? Like, if you hit them twice, does it go up by 4 seconds, or is it just 2 and that's it? Because if it goes up by multiples, what if you stim drone an Archon Tassadar, and his attack speed is just crazy? So does he just stay in Archon indefinitely then? If you've just built up this humongous pool of extra seconds? Shit, that could be awesome. I have to try that out. I'm gonna have to try that one out. Now, the big one I wanted to get to was Uther, because they've been talking about a giant rework for Uther for quite a while now, and I believe this is what it's supposed to be here. So let's take a look here, because I don't play Uther that much. But when I picked out Oriel as my spotlight for my last healer, I was thinking about doing Uther, but I wanted to wait for this supposed rework to come out. Now that it is, he's a possibility on the board again, because there's no point in reviewing somebody who gets changed a week later and is now drastically different. So his stats, his passive armor's gone now. I didn't realize he had that. His base maximum health is increased a bit. His health regeneration is increased a little bit. That's fine. Holy Light is his Q. His healing got dropped, but now he also heals himself if he heals somebody else, which is good, because that means he doesn't need to make the choice between healing himself or healing them, which is nice. I like that. Holy Radiance, healing amount reduced from blah, blah, blah. Now matches the damage. Okay, that's fine. And mana cost is reduced by 5 points. It's not that much, but either way, so no. So 2 of his abilities can heal, which is good. I guess that's always been like that, but either way. And they've changed what his trait is now. Because his trait used to be... Oh, wait. Maybe this is the same thing. Maybe this is just added on to his current trait. Okay, you know, this says added functionality. It does not say rework. So I'm going to assume right now, without having tried Uther at all since this, that his trait is still when you die, you become a ghost and you can throw healing spells, but you can't do any damage. I'm going to assume this is tied onto that, not replacing it. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments below. But right now, I'm reading this as an addition to the trait, not a replacement. When Uther heals anyone with a basic ability, they gain 25 armor for 2 seconds. This effect does not stack with itself. That's why they removed his armor, is because he could do that. So he can heal himself, or he can heal an ally and himself, and they'll both gain the armor, because he heals simultaneously. That's good. Lots of changes to his actual kits here, but we're only going to be talking about the new ones here. So his new level 1 talent is Silver Touch. Quest, reduce damage from heroes taking Eternal Devotion's armor effect. After reducing 40 sources of fear damage, reduce the mana cost of Holy Light by 20. Reducing 80, reduce the mana cost by an additional 20, increase the cast range 50%, so you can heal from farther. That's pretty good. That is actually pretty good. Level 4, he gets Pursuit of Justice. Casting Hammer of Justice increases Uther's movement speed by 20% for 30 seconds. I guess it's pretty handy if you're like being chased by something and you just turn and stun them and you just leg it out of there after that. So that's not too bad. It also helps you get in closer to secure a kill, but you're a support, if you stun them and rush up and hit them with your hammer. But you're a support, so I don't really see that happening too much. Level 7, he now has... Oh, he's got a bunch. Alright, so Burden of Guilt's been removed. Holy Fire's been moved. Cleanse has been removed. Well, a lot of people did have Cleanse. So now he's got Armor of Faith, which is a trait thing, so it buffs his trait. Holy Light recharges 100% faster for 6 seconds when Uther's stunned, rooted, or silenced. That's good. Guardian of Ancient Kings, healing a stunned, rooted, or silenced healer with basic ability, increase their armor bonus from 25 to 75. Damn! So if someone gets rooted by Malfurion, you're like, armor, and then they're not getting dived. You're just not going to shred that fast. Because that lasts for what? How long did that last again? For his trait? 2 seconds. Yeah, that's enough time for the root to wear off. So that's really good. That's a good one. And Hand of Protection. Activate okay, so it's his own cleanse. It's his own cleanse, but it's better because basic attacks reduce the cooldown by 5 seconds. So it's 90-second cooldown. That's a lot, but you can also shred it yourself by hitting minions or something. So, yeah, okay. And that makes sense because he's a paladin, and paladins had Hand of Protection. That's how I used to jump off mountains. Don't judge me. So level 13. He lost Shrink Ray, but he gained Well Met. You memed the bastard, you jerks. Hammer of Justice also reduces enemy movement speed by 25% and damage by 25% for 3 seconds. Again, really, really good if you need to buff them and run the fuck away. But now you can also use it to secure kills a lot easier, so good. Level 16, he lost a lot. He lost a lot for 16. Hardened Focus, gone. Righteous Defense, gone. Gathering Radiance, gone. Tears Deliverance, hitting an ally here with Holy Radiance increases their healing received by 40% for 6 seconds. Really, really good when you're a support. Having increased healing is really, really good when you're a support, so I like that. And his level 20, Divine Protection for his trait. Eternal Devotion's armor can now stack twice, bringing up to 50%. Each application will refresh the duration of both armor effects. Really, really good. Plus, it also stacks up, so if you hit someone with a healing spell and they get 25% armor, and it's about to wear off, then you hit them again, and not only does it stack, but it also refreshes the first cooldown so that it all stacks the same amount. That's really good. I like that. That's a good 20 talent. So they changed a lot. Now, the only thing I'm a little bummed out of is they usually give like a developer's comments at the bottom of this, explaining like why they changed it, and they didn't do that, which I'm a little bummed out about, but you know, moving on. So taking a look at Warriors, Nubrak has some minor changes. Burrow Charge. Hovering over this ability will now show the range indicator of the distance traveled, as well as the area affected when he emerges from Burrow. That's pretty good, especially if you're learning a Nubrak. Like, I'm not a very good Nubrak player, so this would be helpful to me. Locust Swarm, damage increase... damage per second reduced by 5. That kind of sucks. Range indicator will now appear when... Okay, so that's good. Subterranean shield amount reduced. Wow, he got a nerf. He got a straight nerf. All right, ETC. Well, ETC got the nerf hammer last time, so health increased again. Gee, I wonder why. Health regeneration increased. Gee, I wonder why. But no sign of them kind of reneging on what they gave him last time. Although Pinball Wizard does increase the damage to 300%, which is nice. Hammer-On is also up to 35, so it's not bad. It definitely helps because I think they neutered him too much after the changeover, but that wasn't even so much his trait getting changed, because the trait only made him more tanky. It was the health. They fucked his health too much, so he just got shredded really fast, especially by ability damage. Stitches, health increased, health regeneration increased, and damage increased. So Stitches just straight up buff. Zarya, another one of those heroes that I don't really play all that much. Ray of Decay, so cooldown reduced. Ray of Decay increased. Ray of Decay, I believe, is a bad thing. I don't think you want that going any faster, unless that means it takes longer for it to decay. And if that's what the case, that is a good thing. That's a straight buff. But maybe I'm just reading that wrongly. I don't know. I'm kind of tired right now. And then just various changes to her kit. Doesn't really, like, the problem with this one is I don't play Zarya, so I don't really have any opinions on this one yet. When I get to this, I'll probably be able to notice. Well, I guess I won't really notice because I haven't played her yet. Oh, I'll figure it out. Either way, you know, fine. Let's leave this one to you guys. Is the Zarya changes good? Like, are they well implemented, or did this buff her? Did this nerf her? Like, let me know your response below, because as a Zarya player, you might know better than me, because I'd be looking at this going, oh, they changed that. Was it good before? And that'd be the entire thing. And last but not least, bug fixes. So, Mac. I don't play on a Mac, so it doesn't really matter. Battlegrounds. The only one that really jumps out at me is the Tomb of the Spider Queen, that web weavers will no longer become distracted by summoned units. I think that's come in handy once for me playing as Nazebo, trying to keep them off a tower, so I just summon the Gargantuan, but outside of that, not a big change. Some minor artwork changes. That's fine. Heroic and ability changes, just, again, minor things that are just for bugs, not a big issue here. Like, if there's anything you guys are wondering about, we could definitely go over them, but I can't imagine too many people are sitting here going, what if that one bug got fixed? Plus, they did change a lot. Like, a lot. Sound, ETC, Mosh Pit was carried from inside a bush, will now vent correct. Okay, so it just fixes the sound, which was a bug. And the user interface, hotkeys. Control group hotkeys are the default standard for lefties in our profile. I don't know, I'm not left-handed. Heroes Brawl. Brawls that only require completion of 2 matches will no longer state that 3 matches are needed in order to earn rewards. I didn't even notice they did that. Like, all the ones I saw that required 2 matches said 2 matches, so what the hell. And the kill feed. The kill feed will no longer display blank portraits for heroes who are killed by an immortal while the immortals are dueling on the battlefield of eternity. How about the bug that if someone's an AI, like if they drop from a match and they get replaced by a bot, when they die, you give them a fucking countdown timer for when they come back. Because I've noticed that's been a problem for a while now. Ever since they changed and put the HUD on the top like that, if your friend is with you and he gets disconnected and he gets replaced by a bot, if he dies, there's no number indicating when he's going to come back up there at all. You have no way of knowing how much longer he has unless you've just been doing the math in your own head. Or you die at the same time as him. But I don't know what it is. It's been like that ever since they changed it over. So, I don't know, maybe fix that. That's all I'm going to say. So those were the patch notes for April 17th. Like I said, there was a fair bit covered here. Biggest things for me were, like, obviously Genji and Hanamura, but also the Uther changes, because I'm always looking for more supports to learn or relearn, and I didn't like Uther's kit when he first came out. Maybe these changes will make me actually want to play him. I don't know. He always felt like he was in this weird hybrid mix of a support that could also sort of tank, but not really. I'm kind of hoping this makes it so he's more clearly defined as a support. Ugh. No, excuse me, I believe I need to take a nap because I'm yawning up a fucking storm over here. So, you know, let me know what you think of all these changes they've made in the comments below, and once 2.0 launches, I'll see you in the Nexus, because that's the only place I'm gonna be.